Hey there, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we have the Yakima TrackTowers. These are going to be a newer style of tower from Yakima designed to work with your Yakima Crossbars and your platforms. We're going to talk about what makes them a little different compared to the other tower offerings, as well as what they work with here at eTrailer. And if you stick around, I'll also show you how to get it all set up and installed. A tower you will often see this as an alternative to is the Yakima Skyline Tower, and sometimes the TimberLine Tower. But the reason this is an alternative is because this, like the Skyline Tower, can attach to your Yakima track systems. This comes with the hardware to slide into those tracks and secure the tower. This will have the same type of construction that the Skyline has. You have your glass reinforced plastic and elastomer construction, and you have pretty good weight capacity. 4 towers will give you a capacity of 220 pounds, and if you get 6 towers, you can go up to 330 pounds, depending on your crossbars and your construction. What it has different though compared to the Skyline is that it is a bit more low profile and a bit more affordable. This sits only 2 inches tall if you want a sleeker look. And because it does miss out on one feature, it is easier to use if you're not planning on taking it off. Unlike the Skyline, this does not remove easily. It's designed to stay on your vehicle, and you only remove it when you have to remove the entire system. So for the Skyline, you can easily loosen a bolt and then lift the entire thing off and just replace the mounting brackets with a landing pad. With the track tower, you have 2 10mm nuts holding this into the tracks. So while it's not as easy as the alternative, in my opinion, compared to other track mounted towers from other brands, it's still pretty doable. This is also compatible with Yakima's same key system lock cores. So if you plan to have this match the locks of your other Yakima accessories, now's the time to plan ahead and make sure you get a pack that is large enough to replace the lock cores on your towers as well as your other accessories. These track towers are available in a quantity of 2 or a quantity of 4 here at etrailer.com. If you find yourself in a situation where you need a quantity of 6, for example, we have the Yakima rib cage installed here, so we are able to get 6 towers so we can carry up to 330 pounds on the roof. Well, make sure that you get all the other parts associated with getting a quantity of 6. You're going to need the adapters, you're going to need the lock and load extension, things like that. So to make it easy, we do have a full kit available here at etrailer.com. If you use a fit guide at the top of the page, put your year, make, and model, and then you search for a roof rack for you. Then we have all those parts kitted together to make things a lot easier for you to just pick the one you want and get it all sent to you. So hopefully you are able to use the fit guide, but if not, then make sure to get the right quantity of the items for your kit. Yakima designed the track towers for a very specific type of people, especially those that like to carry around the lock and load platform, because this platform is going to be large, it's going to be bulky, especially when you have items loaded on it. You're not really going to be taking this off very often. Another thing to the platform is the slats are pretty wide, that you're not really mounting accessories around the slats. Rather, you're taking advantage to the T channels up top, which means if it sits low profile and close to your roof, that's fine. You don't need the extra clearance underneath that the Skyline towers would give you. So with that in mind, if you are considering getting a lock and load platform or some heavier bars and you're not planning on taking them off anytime soon, rather than having to pay extra for features you might not even use, I would definitely recommend looking into the track towers as an alternative for you, just because they provide that same stability, that same weight capacity that the Skyline towers would give you, but they make it a lot easier to pair with your entire system. Now, if you are curious about how this whole system looks, I installed this lock and load platform onto our Jeep, and I did have to utilize a mix of adapters and the platform to get this all together. So if you want to see the towers in action, Stick around for that install. This is going to be the installation of the track towers with the SL adapters to the lock and load platform. The track towers are relatively new compared to the rest of the Yakima lock and load items and accessories, so there wasn't that much information when I was putting everything together, especially since it gets confusing with different types of crossbar styles. So follow along with me. Your setup might look a little bit different, but the general idea will stay the same. Some of the parts are not going to be included with your different kits. So what I brought to the table was a 14mm wrench, a flathead screwdriver, and a 4mm Allen key. If you have a Yakima Roof Rack Allen key, you can use that one too. First, set up your tower. What I use is a flathead screwdriver, but you can use anything flat like the side of a coin to turn that plastic lock and remove that end cap. You're then going to set up the channel bolts that will allow you to slide this tower through the track. So the first step is a channel bolt, which goes into the plastic plate, which will go up into the tower. And then you're going to put this block on top and loosely secure everything with a nut. To attach the lock and load platform to the track towers, we're going to use a combination of brackets and plates. So most of this comes from the SL adapter, although this bracket here comes from the lock and load kit. So the first thing we're going to do is get our bolt and flat washer. This came with the SL adapter kit. We're going to put this up underneath our track tower. Then we are going to put this bracket and then this block with a cutout, have the cutout facing the inside of the vehicle. And to secure it all, we have this nut insert. So this is going to secure to the bolt that we had come up from underneath. Now, in order to fully tighten this whole system down, you are going to need to use the tool included with your kit, and then a 14mm wrench not included with your kit. So tighten this down to 4 Newton meters. We have these slat clamps included with the lock and load, and they're gonna secure with 2 M6x16 bolts, also included with your lock and load. Now, in order to tighten down those bolts, that's where that 4mm Allen key comes in handy. When you have all 4 towers set up like that, you can now install them into your tracks. So the tracks included with the rib cage system makes this a lot easier because I just slide those channel bolts into the track. And with all 4 towers into the track, the next thing I have to worry about is where to secure them. Depending on your vehicle, depending on your track system, depending on your platform, your measurements are going to be different. So a good rule of thumb is you want your towers further out to support the platform. If they're all on the inside, you don't have enough distribution of weight. Another thing is, are you installing a set of 4 towers or a set of 6 towers? Then you'll be able to fit this around. So the slats are pretty forgiving when it comes to measurement. What I like to do is make sure I'm farther apart than 27.5 inches. I'm currently setting mine to 36 inches. So I measure for the front towers, make sure they're in the same spot, and then after I tighten that down, I measure for the rear towers. So we're at 36 inches right here. I'm gonna check at the other side is the same, and then we'll tighten down. Here we have our lock and load on our roof, and the easiest way to get it on there is to have other people do it for you. So I had 2 of my friends here in the shop lift it onto our Jeep. Very simple process, especially since the towers were already mounted in place there. They just need to lift it up and over and onto the slats. Now it's time to secure the lock and load platform to our pivot slats. We have our brackets and then we have our hardware. So you have 3 different options for installing this onto your pivot slats. You can either put the brackets both in front of the slats, you can put them in the middle, you can put them on the outside. The most important thing is that the brackets touch 2 slats and not just 1. So place that channel nut into the channel. You're then going to put the bracket on top and fit it into your lock and load platform slat, like that. Then you're going to put a flat washer and then a nut on top, and then you're going to secure it with a 13mm wrench. What I like to do is I like to go back and forth just so I know it's all evenly distributed and I'm not pulling the platform to one side. With all the brackets tightened down, you're then going to just do some tidying up. If you forgot to put back your towers, now's the time to do so. If you're utilizing the Yakima same key system lock cores, which are a large pack of metal cores, now's also got time to switch them out so that everything is key to like. This right here was a look at the Yakima TrackTowers for your crossbars and platforms here at eTrailer. My name is Evangeline and I hope you enjoyed the journey.